Hi everybody. Nice to see you here again. What I did, I thought I'd be really clever. And I left the book open on the table next to the chair so I could pick it up straight away and find the story that we wanted. Because yesterday we read about the sweetest song, and today we're going to read a story from Russia called Little Cock Feather Frock. Here we go. Little Cock Feather Frock. Once upon a time there was a cat, a blackbird and a cockerel, and they all lived together in a little hut in the forest. Every day the cat and the blackbird would go out into the forest to search for food, and every day the cockerel would stay at home and mind the house. Lock the door, the cat would say. Sit by the stove, the blackbird would say. And if old Foxy comes knocking at the door, don't let him in, they both said together. Well, the days passed and the weeks passed, and all was well and good until one fine morning when old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock, a pea would be yours if you unlock the doors. The cockerel loved peas, and the chance of a sweet green pea straight from the pod was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor, and click-clack he opened the door, and old Foxy scooped him up into his sack. Into my sack, onto my back, my sweet little feathery supper. The poor cockerel began to shout, Help, 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 brother blackbird, dear cat Kanotovich, old Foxy has scooped me into his sack. He's carrying me off to the back of beyond for his sweet little feathery supper. Then the cat and the blackbird, who were not far away from the little hut, heard the cockerel, and they chased old Foxy away. And soon the cockerel was safe at home, crooning and preening his ruffled feathers. The next morning the cat said, Lock the doors, and the blackbird said, Sit by the stove, and they both said together, When old Foxy comes, do not open the door. But they hadn't been gone for long when old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock, a nut would be yours if you opened the door. The cockerel loved nuts, and the chance of a sweet brown hazelnut straight from the shell was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor, and click-clack he opened the door, and old Foxy scooped him into his sack. Into my sack, onto my back, my sweet little feathery supper. Help, help, brother blackbird, dear cat Kanotovich, old Foxy has scooped me into his sack. He's carrying me off to the back of beyond for his sweet feathery little supper. This time the cat and the blackbird had gone a long way from their home in search of food, but they heard the cockerel's voice very faintly, and they chased old Foxy away. Soon the cockerel was safe home, crooning and preening in his feathery ruffled feathers. The next morning it was the same again. Lock the doors, sit by the stove, and if old Foxy comes around, don't open the door. But sure enough, old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock. Oh, a loaf will be yours if you open the doors. The cockerel loved bread, and the chance of a sweet fresh loaf straight from the oven was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor, and click-clack he opened the door, and old Foxy scooped him up into his sack. Into my sack, onto my back, my sweet little feathery supper. Help, 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 brother blackbird, dear cat Kanotovich, old Foxy has scooped me up into his sack, and he's going to carry me back to the back of beyond for his sweet little feathery supper. But this time the cat and the blackbird had gone a long, long, long way from home in search of food. They were so far away that they didn't hear the cockerel shouting. And when they came back to the hut at the end of the day, the door was open and the cockerel was gone. Oh dear, oh dear. They looked here and there, and soon enough they saw old Foxy's footprints on the ground. They followed those footprints through forests and over mountains until they came to the back of beyond, and the footprints led straight to the door of old Foxy's house. The cat and the blackbird began to sing. Foxy, dear Foxy, are you within? Your two old sisters are come visiting. Well, inside the house, old Foxy had just put the cockerel onto a plate and was just sharpening his teeth and making ready to eat his supper. When he heard the song, he pricked up his ears and he listened again. Foxy, dear Foxy, are you within? Your two old sisters are come visiting. That's strange, old Foxy thought to himself. I didn't think I had any sisters. He stepped across the floor and click-clack he opened the door, and the cat scratched his nose, the blackbird scratched his eyes, and the cockerel jumped from the plate and pecked his red tail from behind. And old Foxy was so afraid that he turned and ran away. He ran and he ran from the back of beyond, and he was never seen again. And as for the cat, the blackbird and the cockerel, they journeyed back over the mountains and through the forest until they were safe home. And soon enough, little Cockfeather Frock was crooning and pruning his ruffled feathers. And as far as I know, he still is today. And that was the end of that story. The end. Well, I hope you liked that one. Tomorrow we're going to be reading The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And I didn't know this, but that's actually from Norway. It's a Norwegian story. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And it's goodbye from me, Mr. C. Bye.